Hello everybody, my name is Pravus and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. Now, this may look like the base game, but it is not the base game. This artwork is deceptive. What I have done for today's series is installed a Lord of the Rings overhaul mod that has been making its way up in popularity with the Steam Workshop. And we're just going to try it out and see if it is, in fact, any fun. Here's a whole bunch of different nations we can play. We got Mordor, Gondor, Rohan, Isengard, Rivendell, Kingdom of... I assume this is Erebor? Yes, it is. And Lothlorien, all the kingdoms of Middle-earth. And actually, let's just go ahead and take a look at some other countries and see what we're looking at here. So here's the map. Cool, right? So we got, like, see, the Realm of Dagorlands. These are the Barrow-wights? Yes, they are. Okay, the Eastlands, the Realm of Harad, the Haradrim. Okay, we can play as the Shire or perhaps the Ents. Lots of fun things you could do over here if you really want to. I have no idea how in-depth this mod is going to be. I just wanted to pick it up because, hey, it's a fun concept. Now, I can say, loading up this mod, it is not quite as complete as I would like it to be. There are still tanks, there are still airplanes, and a lot of modern technology that don't really make any sense, but we'll make do with it anyway. So we're going to be playing as Mordor, because Mordor seems like a lot of fun. I like the idea of playing as Sauron, the all-seeing eye, with 50% extra decryption. He's mostly fascist with the Black Council, but apparently there's a little bit of communist roots amongst the orcs. That's certainly quite fun. Let's give it a go and see how well we can do. We're going to prevent Frodo and the Fellowship from delivering the ring to Mount Doom, or else we all go up in flames. I don't know. I have no idea if this is going to be a long series, short series, probably on the shorter side. I'll do some jump cuts as necessary. Hey, check this out. That's kind of cool. Oh, dude, you've actually got like a graphical sprite for the Tower of Barad-dûr with the Eye of Sauron up top. Now that's slick. I like that. What about the sprites down here? Okay, so we have some people with, it looks like pop guns riding horses, but we've also got some actual orc sprites. Sweet. Did someone, like, lift these from the Battle for Middle-earth? I don't know. Fortunately, it looks like the author was not stupid enough to steal the music off of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. So I'm very glad to see that's not a thing, but yeah. Let's go ahead and get some people set up along these borders, just to be safe for now. Not sure how to organize all this. We'll come back to it. So let's take a look at our national focus tree. We've got a few different options here. Starting on the left, we have the Restoration of Barad-dûr, which will give us a lot of oil and steel in the heart of Mordor, as well as some land forts. Well, that's fun. World tension goes up, though, because a certain wizard might notice that the fortress of Barad-dûr has been rebuilt. That's fun. We could also establish a hierarchy. We could resist Sauron and become communists. Okay. Orc revolutionary spirit in both Gondor and Rohan. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Or we can submit to Sauron, which I mean is obviously what we're going to do. Let's see. Gather the Nazgul, hunt for the ring, unleash Sauron, torture Gollum. Reach out to Isengard and Angmar. Ooh, Witch King. I want the Witch King of Angmar. That guy's cool. Shire for the ring. Ring of the Dead Marsh's sweetness. Okay, Fate of Mordor up over here, some political power. Conquest of Middle-earth, okay. Play the long game, or go for a swift victory, no time to waste. Interesting. The Fates of Minas Morgul. Okay, lots of fun things going on here. A military effort, centralized and decentralized industry, and the Wrath of the Fell Beasts. Oh, okay, so I guess planes are going to be kind of like the Fell Beasts that the Nazgul ride, and maybe for the allies, the good guys, you're going to have eagles? I don't know. I doubt the sprites work out that way, but it'd be really cool if they did. So we're going to start with what? What do we want? The Restoration of Barad-dûr? I don't really need the resources right now. Let's go with the Fate of Mordor. No, I think establishing a hierarchy and getting for the political power is still good. We'll just go down that route. We'll go down the political route first and see how things go. So this is the technology we're looking at, and you can see that things are a little messed up because I had to go back to the 1.9.1 version in order to get this mod to work. And you can see there are some technologies that kind of aren't organized correctly. But we do have horses and buggies for motorized. We do have special shields and armor and archer support and stuff for our soft attack, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of fun. Support companies, pretty much exactly the same. Tanks, pretty much exactly the same. Artillery, the same. Doctrines, all of this is basically exactly what you'd expect it to be. So, the only thing that's really unique in terms of technology is just the fact that we're not supposed to be using guns. We're using swords and bows and arrows and stuff like that. Oh, well. Okay, now, let's see. We're going to do some construction. We have 13 civilian factories to start. We can afford to build a few more. That said, I think, considering we have... It says 13 out of 33. So I think we got a pretty good amount of factories. We can afford to just start ramping up right away, I think, in terms of our military factories and ignore the rest for now. And then maybe a little bit more infrastructure in a couple of key areas. We could certainly afford a bit more here. There's a lot of resources in Mordor. Holy crap. Man, we are really going to be self-sufficient. This is amazing. Okay, what else do we want to get? We could go for the artillery and stuff. I mean, we probably should go for at least a little bit. We got 37 factories at the beginning of the game. Some might say that's pretty good. I'm kind of tempted to go hard on the tanks. We could even go for some fighters and stuff. I mean, yeah, let's go for a little bit of everything there. That should be fine. We will need plenty of infantry equipment, a little bit more support equipment, artillery, some motorized, pretty good amount of light tanks probably, then some fighters and some bombers, more fighters probably. And after that, what else? A little bit more infantry, more motorized, more light tanks. We're going to go hard on these, I think. I don't know if I need that much more artillery unless I plan on actually mixing this into my infantry divisions. We might do that. We'll do these, and then a little bit more here, and a little bit more here, and there we go. That's 37. Okay, getting all those factories set up and ready to go. Intelligence. We don't have an agency yet, but I'm going to go ahead and build one because whoops. I want to see what symbols we can get. Let's go for the tower. The tower makes sense. Rook, I'm not going to rename it. There we go. All right, let's get some intelligence going kind of early on if we can. Nice red eye of Sauron over here. Okay, the rest of this looks pretty darn standard. I mean, this looks like it's going to be a basic game of HoI4, but on a very different map, and maybe, if we're lucky, we're going to get a story of the Fellowship actually traveling with the ring. Or maybe it's Mordor, we're not supposed to know about that. I don't really know, but I mean, we're going to try it. So let's see, the troops are all on their way. Let's get some generals assigned. It does look like we are low on equipment, actually. Hang on. Oh, sure enough. Okay, so we have some orcs, but we haven't armed our orcs, so we really do need to be producing a lot of this stuff. We probably should be focusing, then, a bit less on things like light tanks, and a lot more on things like our infantry equipment for now. Also a bit more motorized and so on. Okay, so we'll do this, and we'll put one more factory here for now. Okay, that'll be fine. We'll just do that. Let's get our troops up to full strength before we exhaust ourselves too much. Let's also get ready to deal with the Barrow Wights and also the forces of Gondor. We need a general, and we got a whole bunch of charming-looking fellows over here. There's Gothmog, there's Muskaj, Shagrat, Grishnach. Guess you'll be my general for now, and then we'll put you under here. And for a field marshal, I mean, Gothmog's pretty darn good. He's got really good maneuver and attack stats and stuff, so I think we take him. And he automatically starts with offensive doctrine, which is pretty nice. We can even give him organization first or charismatic. We'll go for charismatic, because I can't do that. Never mind. We don't have enough command power. That's fine. The War of the Ring! The War of the Ring evolves around many things. But of course, a small golden trinket lies at the center of it all. The One Ring. The Ring of Power. The Doom of Isildur. In this mod, the One Ring adopts the form of a national spirit that grants a very significant stat boost to all your divisions. The nations of Lothlorien, Isengard, Gondor, and Mordor can try to obtain the ring through their focus tree during specific time frames. The likeliness of these attempts being successful depends on the strength of Fellowship protecting Frodo. At around December 1936, I will point out, by the way, that it's the year 3018, so that can't be possible, Rivendell will invoke Elrond's Council. Wait, that doesn't work then. They're going to evoke it, but it's impossible for me to know what year it actually is. Oh no. The nations of Gondor, Mirkwood, and Erebor will now choose to add either their finest warrior, a decent replacement, or no one at all. Watch out for a news event titled The Fellowship of the Ring and take a quick glance at the event's picture. It will quickly reveal who exactly is part of the Fellowship. So they're going to modify the picture of the Fellowship based on who actually participates? That's kind of cool. Should no nation manage to obtain the ring by 1943, Frodo will destroy it and the nation of Mordor will be severely weakened. Misspelled. Should anything be unclear, check the mod's workshop description for more info on the ring. Oh, BKB. I mean, that's kind of a cool idea, right? I like that. I like that a lot. It does mean we need to be ready to intercept that ring, though. Can we actually see? Yes, so we can see. All right, so the years are all messed up. But it does say that after May 3022, so in 4 years, we could intercept the ring at the Dead Marshes. But if it gets to November of 3022, we will miss our opportunity to stop Frodo before we all die horrible, horrible deaths. Or rather, at least Sauron's gonna die horrible deaths. I wonder if the Tower of Barad-dûr, like, explodes. Wouldn't that be sick? Alright, let's see. There's Minas Morgul over there. I assume the Black Gate's up here somewhere. I can't remember. The Black Gate's up here, right? Around Mornon? Maybe I'm misremembering. There's Osgiliath right there. Cirith Ungol should be up here somewhere. So I happen to be a big fan of the Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings series. It's actually one of my favorite movie series ever made. It's such a work of art. The Hobbit movies, not so much. But the trilogy? Woohoo! Good freaking stuff. I love it. I love it so stinking much. My wife and I pretty much, we'll marathon through that at least every 2 years. We'll, like, have a Saturday dedicated, and we'll watch, like, 16-plus hours of the extended edition, just go through the entire thing with a day of junk food. It's absolutely hilarious and fun. So, we can go for things like cryptology and stuff a little early. We could also go ahead and grab some passive defense and other such stuff. I don't really need a spy right now, but if we are going to do this, let's go ahead and just grab the cryptology department, and we'll start working against Gondor with the intention that I want to rush down Minas Tirith, right along over here, which, it doesn't show a good sprite for the city, but you can kind of tell that it's elevated almost in the shape of Minas Tirith, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that, I guess. Osgiliath, by the way, is supposed to be a very large city in ruins in Lord of the Rings, so I'm glad they got the scale of this approximately correct. Approximately correct. Cool, so let's see, who's leading Angmar right now? Elfir. Okay, you are a vassal of Gondor. Yeah, so the Kingdom of Men have taken this over. Too bad, too, because it would have been awesome if the Witch King had that under his control. Over here we have Rudar. That's fun. Vassals of Anduin. Okay, that looks like Bjorn. It is, in fact, Bjorn. Mirkwood right along over here. Fun. Cardalin. So where are the wild men going to be? These guys. Okay. Enedwaith. Yeah. So Treebeard's going to be leading the Entwood. That's fun. We're going to want to reach out to Isengard. Saruman, I think, has a choice whether he wants to go for the path of light or dark. Obviously, we would like him to, you know, go down the path of dark and give us a major ally. He's going to be my Italy if I am effectively Germany in this game. Okay? That's what's going to happen. What kind of decisions we got? Practically nothing. Okay, not going to worry about that then. Unless something fun pops up, we're just going to have to ignore a lot of that. So how are we doing in terms of equipment? Starting to get there a little bit, building up some tanks and so on, getting some motorized. So I did want to get some experience so I can change up some army templates, and I do think we want to go ahead and try to do some training, but without enough equipment, that is going to be a little tricky. So we'll see. Unfortunately, these guys look very humanistic, don't they? Yep. Yes, in fact, they do. Safecracker, Sabotage. I guess we'll just pick you up. You seem fun. And we don't really need to do any counter-spying, so let's just go ahead and spy in Mordor. I mean, as a human, it looks like he belongs there, right? So, I mean, okay. Yeah, why not? Let's get more factories going for the infantry equipment. We obviously have a long way to go to rearm all of our soldiers. And we can start the cryptology breaking of Gondor. It's going to take 960 days? They don't even have any passive defense at this point. Yikes, dude. Yikes. Blah, blah. Me no likey. All right, we've restored Barad-dûr. Are we going to get some, like, nice little story pop-ups? Because I really hope we do. Now let's establish a hierarchy. We're making about 1 political power per day. That's obviously not the best. Do you have, like, icons for... No, we don't have, like, special, like, pictures and stuff for all the different advisors and stuff. Which is unfortunate. It would have been really cool to see, you know, some orcs and stuff as our advisors, but oh well. Military theorists would probably be pretty good for me kind of early on. I definitely want to get some army experience going. What do our templates look like, out of curiosity? Basic orc divisions. 18 combat with some support archers. Okay. When you say support archers, what you mean is towed artillery, yes? Yes, that is exactly what you mean. Okay. You know, you could have done, like, catapults and stuff in this. That also would have worked. Like, there were catapults. I remember that. I remember that in the movies. Big honking catapults. Also giant battering rams in the shape of a wolf. There's a name for that thing, but it escapes me at the moment. Actually, the real Lord of the Rings, like, buff was my sister. She was just obsessed with that stuff. Loves Lord of the Rings. And understandably so. It is, like, really, really fun. Actually, it was such a fun thing for her. She loved it so much that my dad contacted a buddy of his who actually knows Elvish in the Lord of the Rings. He actually studied and like memorized fluently the entire language, the entire written language. Had his friend send him a translation of some stuff in Elvish runes, and then my dad actually painted in Elvish all the way around the top edges of her bedroom, so she'd have that awesome decoration. It was a really cool touch, not gonna lie. All right, submitting to Sauron, world tension increases, but we're gonna go ahead and get some more of that daily fascism support. No more of this communism nonsense. I mean, really, what's that? What is that? That's just stupid. All right, so no political advisors really sound good to me, and I'm not gonna need an improved relations guy. Like, why would I want that? I mean, unless I'm gonna be improving relations with Harad and the Easterlings and stuff, but between all of these, I mean, we could go for industrial concern. That's not bad, and this would let me ramp things up pretty quick. We don't need the army experience quite yet. Let's go ahead and start doing that. I am supposed to be getting some army experience per day, just not a lot. Excuse me. We do have 7.02 million manpower we can work with, which is awesome. So if I can get a lot more infantry equipment, we can start just swarming out a lot of these orc divisions, which isn't a bad idea. Mountain orcs, 24 combat with some engineers and stuff. That's fun. Motorized orcs, wolf riders. I kind of like that idea, actually. The wolf riders, that's pretty cool. Submitting to Sauron now. Thank you, I have submitted. All right, so we can gather the Nazgul and get a load of generals, including a Witch King. Now that sounds fun. Hunt for the Ring. Unleash Sauron. We become the leader of the fascist party. Ringbearer division attack. Legacy of Morgoth. Stability. That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. Torture Golem. Not going to worry about that yet. So Isengard and Angmar, allies in the east. So if we play the long game, we get to do a lot of allies. Enslave the north, the south, and everything else. Yeah, we're not going to go for a rough, fast war against Dale and Gondor and Erebor. I think that's a suicidal idea right now. We could go for the fate of Mordor and start working toward the conquest of Middle-earth. War preparations, raise the Black Gate. Lots of forts in Cirith Okay. Fate of Minas Morgul. Liberate Minas Morgul with an autonomous state. That's interesting. No, mutually exclusive. Sorry, we could liberate them. Grant autonomy. A king for a kingdom. Ringbearer. The Witch King of Angmar becomes leader for the fascist party. In Minas Morgul. Interesting. If we wanted to have the Witch King as a puppet, that would be a thing we could do. Weirdness. Okay, so let's go for the Hunt for the Ring, just so we can get that army experience going. We should have a fair bit of time to work our way down the interception of the ring at Dead Marshes. However, there's a lot of things we need to do first, including seeking allies in the east and gaining control over the Dead Marshes. So, we need to do a lot of this, and we need to do all of this. I don't know how fast we can work our way down those national focuses, so I'm going to prioritize them just to be sure that I can't miss my window and actually go and grab that there ring. Hi, Gondor! How you doing? Hey, look at the peoples with crossbows. The orcs are the ones that really use crossbows. Actually, the Uruk-hai are the ones that use crossbows, but all right. We'll let that one slide. Do I want dispersed industry or do I want concentrated? I think today I'm going to go for concentrated for the heck of it. Why not? And we've got the research speed boost, so we might as well do that. And that lets me just start putting out lots of raw output power. Support equipment we are building up pretty nicely. Light tanks we're starting to build up. I don't have any light tank divisions, so we should probably go ahead and duplicate this. And we're going to just say that these are armored orcs. There we go. That'll do for now. And let's change an icon. We'll make it the skull. Sure, why not? And this is where we would be placing our armored battalions, but we need a lot of experience to pull that one off. So I'm going to hold off on this. We're not going to actually duplicate this. I might make some adjustments to the motorized division and then simply duplicate in order to save a little bit of experience. We'll see. But I need a lot more if this is going to end up working. A lot more. Hunt for the Ring is on. Thank you. We can torture Gollum to get secret intel for decryption. I don't need that right now. Let's go for the Fate of Mordor for an extra 100 political power. We start, by the way, with service by requirement, which makes sense. Orcs are pretty much bred for one purpose. We have a closed economy, so we have to be completely self-sufficient, which is fun. We have an enslaved nation. That's cool. And we have war economy from the beginning of the game. I would say that that's not half bad. That's not half bad at all. And a pretty good amount of civilian factories for us at the beginning of the game, too. Like, this is great. Honestly. We're doing great here. Construction tech is done. Good. We likely will want some extra towed artillery for the archers and stuff, that we will want to get some upgrades. So we're already working on all this. Could go for the shields. May want to go for something I can produce, though. For example, if we're going to be doing tanks, let's go ahead now and get an upgrade for those, since it already is 3018. in the year 3018 of the Third Age, I believe is what it is here. Okay, so, Theorist, do we want to go for that? Yeah, I think we're going to go for it. Let's go ahead and grab that army experience just because a little bit more will certainly make my life a lot easier. For our Orc divisions, we could just go ahead and toss on things like the Engineers. There are support siege ladders. Interesting. This isn't good in that it kind of reduces a lot of our stats, except it gives us a massive amount of attack against forts and urban areas. Cool. Okay. Support crossbowmen. They're pretty good. Is this like anti-tank? No, it's also artillery. Oh, okay. So for a bit more artillery, we can have some more of these. So there's 2 artillery divisions. Interesting. We know we want engineers. Let's go ahead and toss that in there. And I know that I want to add in some... Wait, what is all this? Standard bearer, organization. Really? So instead of a fighting unit that gives you more combat stats, excuse me, we can just add on the standard bearer and just give us lots of extra raw organization. Very interesting. Archers and crossbow marksmen. It looks like the archers might be slightly better, but they have... No, they kind of have the same penalties and the same type of terrain. And the archers are cheaper while being better, it looks like in about every way. Except crossbows are more reliable. Okay. And then, yeah, here's the siege ladders, which do give a smaller bonus. Okay, fascinating. Well, I want skirmishers for now. So these are going to be my basic 20 combat width, more defensive orc units. We're playing the game the same way we normally would. Let's just see if that does us any good. And then, yeah, wait. Is this in fact music that you're not supposed to have? I feel like I just heard some. I don't see it now, but I could have sworn I just heard some music that sounded like it belonged in The Lord of the Rings. I do not feel like dealing with that. Making fan-based mods is one thing. Taking the music from a major franchise that is copyrighted to all heck? No. No, I ain't playing that game. I ain't playing that game, no way. No way, no how. Thank you. Kindly get the heck out of here. Yeah. Okay, so once we build this up to like 5 infrastructure, I think that'll be enough to go ahead and build up some more military factories like so. Probably want to build you up a little bit as well. You probably can get a little bit built up too. Do this. We'll get some more military factories along here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We'll just do this for now. Let's see how it goes. How are we doing in terms of trade resources, by the way? Whoops, hello, that's not who I want to take a look at. We got a pretty good amount of everything except for rubber, so rubber might end up becoming a problem at some point. We're gonna go for the conquest of Middle-earth. We need to start getting some, allies. The wizards are clashing at Orthanc, which, by the way, there is, in fact, a giant tower of Orthanc right over here, the second of the towers. Cool stuff. A physical fight erupted at the Tower of Orthanc, or Isengard if you are an idiot, during a heated debate between 2 wizards. Saruman, leader of the Order of Wizards, reportedly closed the door on his former confidant Gandalf the Grey, prompting him to throw Saruman off his feet. This scene is uncommon for Isengard's normally sedate atmosphere. Gandalf the Grey was also reportedly arrested during the clash for interfering with Isengard affairs. Oh dear. And the Shire questions Arthedain's authority? I apologize, what now? After having relished Arthedain protection for centuries, a common consensus has risen in the Shire that they no longer require the Rangers of the North to keep them safe. After their terrible defeat against Angmar, Arthedain's military has remained weak ever since, leaving the Shire one of the only heavily populated states in the area. So is this where they're going to start militarizing their own sheriffs? I think it might be. You are a puppet of Arthedain. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess there's talk of strange folk abroad, and you guys need to be prepared for something. I don't know. Let's take a look at our leaders here and go ahead and give them those extra traits we were talking about. Charismatic for you. I don't think this guy's got anything. You are just ugly as sin. I'm not going to lie. Also, I'm sorry, I can't remember. You're not the orc that was in Mordor. Are you the orc that was tormenting Merry and Pippin when they were escorting past Fangorn? Might have been. I don't know. It's at some point. It has actually been a while. You know that I'm thinking about it. It's actually been about 2 years since I last watched The Lord of the Rings with my wife. I think I might be due for another round of a Lord of the Rings marathon. If I can find a free weekend, I will happily do that. I do start with a faction, by the way. It is called the Dark Pact. I like that name. Honestly, I would be tempted to export that name over to the actual game. If I was creating my own national focus, remind me, guys, that I want to create the Dark Pact. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, well, we're again just sort of sitting around and waiting for something to happen. A war industrialist would be a good idea for me to get. It would get me some extra military construction speed. There's no one here that's actually any better, really. So, hey, a question. Are nukes a thing? I'll bet you they are. They are. Nukes are indeed a thing. Can you imagine nukes in Middle-earth? Ah, that would be quite fun. So, alright, we can, in fact, go for that War Industrialist, and we shall. Quick question, if I play the long game, we get research speed with a Patient Conqueror. That's nice. If we were to seek allies in the east, do we get Annex War Goals? They demand submission. I am guessing that these events, if these guys refuse to submit, I can just conquer them instead. But basically, I'm going to try to force people to join into my faction and start putting together a coalition with which we can destroy the world of men. That's what we are currently going with. Hey, by the way, we've now caught up on our infantry equipment, which means we should be training up some more units, and I will just continue to do so pretty much infinitely. Let's just go for like 8 at a time. It's going to take a while to have enough equipment to matter, but if we can keep producing, I think we'll end up being just fine and dandy, thank you very much. Like a couple more factories to go to support equipment to make sure that's okay, and then after that, I think we go hard on the tanks. Concentrated industry being done will speed things up a little bit. Just a little bit. Anything else I want right now? Anti-air, anti-tank. Shoot down some griffins. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Reinforced speed and stuff is nice. We could excavate some more resources, but I'm not worried about that right now. I don't need the interwar armored cars. I could start researching some other support companies, though. We will eventually want military police. I just don't have an immediate benefit from that. Field hospitals, probably not necessary. We could research heavy tanks and do both. I think what instead we're going to do is go down our doctrine, and it looks like we actually are starting with the mass assault doctrine. Okay, you know what? Just because that's what they've gone with at the beginning of the game, I'll go for it. Why not? Mass assault doctrine can actually be pretty good, if in the right hands. We're going to play the long game, and we're going to get that extra 5% research speed going there. By the way, mechanical computing in the world of Middle-earth is about to be done, and we appear to be creating quite a bit of world tension because, you know, people are feeling a little bit scared of me, though it looks like Isengard is doing stuff they shouldn't be as well. Hey, look, Moria, which is led by Balin. Not for long, it's not. Let's see, you've gone for Committed to the Dark. Excellent. Okay, so very, very likely we will be able to get Isengard on our side. Though be prepared for Isengard to betray us at some point if they find the opportunity and build up enough of a power base. I suspect that Saruman would happily do such a thing. I'm not going to let him. Let's go ahead and research... Let's go ahead and research the shields. Let's just get some of the basic tech here out of the way. We're not too far off of 3019, at which point I will go for some other research, but for now, I think this should be okay. We're about to get an upgrade for some light tanks. Obviously, this is going to cost a lot more in resources to manufacture, but I am A-okay with that. Let's see, our Orc divisions here are looking pretty good. We could toss on, let's say, recon and stuff. I honestly don't think recon's as important for defensive armies. We will, however, want an offensive infantry army, in which I'll place the recon and crossbows and siege ladders. Probably. I think that could be pretty good for me. So we may want to duplicate this. Let's go ahead and do that now. This is going to become my 20 width infantry plus artillery division. And we are going to be replacing a couple of you and instead adding in, I think we want archers. Just based on what I've seen here, the stats just kind of look better. Yeah, I think this is still better. So we're going to go for archers. Add some archers in here. That's a little bit too much. We need to remove you two. That's 20 combat width right there. Then we add in the crossbows, the siege ladders, and we can't add in the recon as well. Siege ladders just require support equipment. Okay. There's something to be said about not using siege ladders on all units and only doing it on units where you plan on attacking, let's say, Minas Tirith. Let's do this for now. Let's just do that for now. And I am going to train up a handful of you, just so we can have some more offensively minded units. Let's get away from the sword for a second. Let's apply this. I think that looks kind of good. Yeah, yeah. Good template picture, good template picture. I think it's pretty solid. All right, so we are rearming Mordor. That is what we are doing now. We need a heck of a lot more infantry equipment, though. So we need to start dedicating a load of factories toward this. We have a lot more we need to build up in order to build up an army truly worthy of Mordor. That's what I'm working toward right now. You guys, with your 12 combat width and stuff, I mean, just kind of meh. But what I want to do is add on some engineers for sure, and recon to you. We'll just go ahead and do that with you guys. And I'll eventually duplicate this template over, and we'll start making some tanks. Since we do actually have a couple hundred tanks to work with now, I think that's a good idea, as long as we have enough motorized as well. Speaking of tanks, that has now been upgraded. In 3 years, we could go for another upgrade. I think we just go for our self-propelled artillery. Why not? And if we can get the production to back that up, sweet, dude. We're going to do that. All right. Going to end this video here. Again, I don't expect this to be an extremely long series. I'm planning on having this done within about 6 episodes or so. I might have to employ some jump cuts. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys are excited about a very unusual... What's the Soviet Union doing here? A very unusual modded series for Hearts of Iron. Hopefully it ends up being really, really fun. I look forward to having Mordor's darkness cover all of Middle-earth. Thank you all for watching. Hit that like button if you are looking forward to this. Leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time. All right, let's go ahead and do it.